Denis Jenkinson, the famous motoring journalist, wrote a piece about the Festival Speed that very first year. And we'd always been really keen from the very beginning to have 722, the great 300 SLR here, ideally with Moss and him driving it. And in '95, of course, it was the big anniversary of that incredible Mille Miglia win in '55, perhaps Stirling's greatest ever race.
When you're a kid and you first get interested in motor racing, there might just be one or two great events, you know, that really grab you here, and you think, wow, that's fantastic. In 1955, I was 10 years old at the time, and I remember being told or seeing or hearing that the British pair, Stirling Moss and Denis Jenkinson, had just won the Mille Miglia in a factory Mercedes-Benz. And it was such a big deal. You know, it was 1,000 miles non-stop round Italy. And then we got to 1995 and the anniversary of the great Mille Miglia win. And Jenks wasn't terribly well. He was in quite frail health by then. But our mutual friend Alan Henry, who rode on Formula One for so many years, said that he'd bring Jenks down to Goodwood and look after him and so on, and that was great. And I was here. Mercedes-Benz provided the car, 722.
This is the original winning car of the 1955 Mille Miglia, the Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR, and inside sitting was Stirling Moss and Denis Jenkinson. And that happened again at the Festival of Speed in Goodwood in 1995. And I'm sure that was absolutely exciting to everybody who was there to see the original pair in the original car.
Stirling, would you believe, had broken his leg. So he had a leg in plaster, and the only way in which we could get him into the cockpit of the Mille Miglia winning Mercedes was to sort of prop him up on a cushion on top of the driver's seat. So you had Stirling sort of sitting, towering up out of the car with his leg as straight as it could be in its plaster cast. And there's Stirling up here, there's little Jenks sunk, almost submarine down beside him.
And Jenks was here with his little loo roll, which Mercedes wanted so badly, were prepared to pay anything for, and he never let them have it, which of course he'd written, acted as a scroll, a moving map, the world's first moving map.
And when they took off from the line, I remember it was gorgeous, absolutely wonderfully sunny day. And you had that silver car with the red 722 number on the side, which corresponded to 7:22 in the morning, which was their start time. And they took off from the Goodwood start line and just drove up waving to the crowd. Really.
To see him and Moss drive up the hill together was a pretty emotional moment. And again, grown men were crying. And a lot of people were crying, especially when they came back into the paddock. There's some wonderful pictures of everyone standing around the car. It's like it really is a big moment. And we lifted Jenks. He was too frail to even come out of the car, and so kind of emotionally caught up in the whole experience. We picked him up out of the body of the SLR and brought him actually in here, and he lay on this very sofa for a while, kind of recovering from the whole experience. But that was certainly one of the very big memories.
But the sight of silver car, red numbers, Stirling and Jenks, the gold-coloured straw bales, green grass, the crowd, and Goodwood House in the background, this brilliant, dazzling Goodwood sunshine on it. Magic.